Hey everyone, Tanner Bell here and welcome back to the Makers Gonna Learn YouTube channel, your digital die cutting community teaching you exactly everything you need to know to master your die cutting machine. If you haven't checked out the membership, definitely do so and hit the subscribe button right here on the channel so you never miss out when we upload a new video. In today's video, we are talking all about your most frequently asked Q&As. This is something that I am so excited about that we are bringing every single Tuesday here to the channel to answer one of our frequently asked questions. And this is somewhere that we are going to answer all your guys' questions. These can be found in the member-only Facebook group, the YouTube comments, and you can even submit a specific question. We'll leave that linked right down below so you guys can leave us a burning question. In today's video, I want to share with you guys something that we get asked about all the time. Tanner, why should I weed on the mat? Now, my friends, this is something we have been demonstrating here for years, and I truly believe is the #1 hack that you need to know before getting started with your Cricut. Because if you do this, it's going to allow you to really have that third hand and keep your vinyl, your iron-on, anything that you need to weed, it is going to keep it not only in place, but it's going to keep it flat. And if you've ever compared trying to weed on the mat versus not on the mat, you know when you're not using the mat to keep the sticky down that the vinyl is rolling up, it's moving all over the place, and it can become very frustrating. Believe it or not, I've actually had a few craft fails from ripping vinyl or weeding the wrong pieces due to the fact that I was trying to stabilize the vinyl with my other hand. So I'm so excited to share with you guys even more tips and tricks on why to do it as we actually demonstrate the proper ways to weed on the mat. And believe it or not, we have some great tips to share with you on how to actually save vinyl in the process. We're going to start out by just cutting one of our Makers Gonna Learn cut files. And our biggest tip here is to have really quality vinyl. You are not going to have great success weeding in general, whether it's on a mat or not, if you're using a lower grade vinyl, because the stickiness may not be there, the quality of the vinyl may rip. There's a lot of things you want to take into consideration when picking your vinyl. So be sure to pick a really great one. We love StarCraft, we love Oracal 651. There's a lot of great ones on the market, but if you're looking at generic or anything like that to get started, we just find that, we don't know how that's going to cut. The durability, the longevity of the vinyl are definitely things you're going to want to take into consideration. So just make sure you go with a really quality vinyl for all your projects, as we want them to last not only weeks, but truly years to come. Am I right? So next up after that, you've cut your cut file for Makers Gonna Learn, and you really want to be specific. Now, one thing that we get as rebuttals about, weeding on the mat is, Tanner, your hand's on the mat, it's gonna be sticky, things like that. Now, what you can do here is I'm going to share with you how to save vinyl so you're not wasting any whatsoever. And then there's 2 ways to go about it. So you want to have also really great tools. I like to have at least 2 different weeding tools to choose from depending on what I'm weeding and where. I love the pin tool. All these are going to be linked down below. But I also love having just a really great overall weeding tool. This is kind of like the main weeding tool that you will absolutely love to have, and it's a great starter weeding tool as well. I use this all the time for the outer edges. I find that these work so good. And then for the pin tool, these are going to be great for any inner pieces. Any letters, like the little pieces inside the letters, does a fantastic job when using the pin tool. But you may also see here on the table, we have a scraper tool and we have a TruControl knife from Cricut. Now, what I like to do every single time after I've cut a piece of vinyl is I like to take the scraper tool and I like to burnish. I want to burnish my vinyl to the mat, but what that's really doing is allowing the vinyl to stick to the backer piece So when we weed, we can go at a faster pace because it's stuck down and it's burnished. So it's really simple to do so. You just want to go just like this. It doesn't take too much pressure at all, and this just adds some really great, stability as it's going to be sure to be stuck down properly. Now, a fun tip about this is when Rachel discovered this, we were literally in a funk using vinyl. We were so frustrated, we were so upset about it, and we were like, I would rather weed iron-on for days rather than having to try to weed vinyl, as what you sometimes may see in your own projects before you learn to burnish is that they just want to come up when you're not even touching the actual cut part. You're like, did this even cut through? And the answer is yes, it did cut through, but you just need to burnish and you will not believe the added results that you're going to get, and you're actually going to be able to weed so much quicker. So after we burnish, the next step is, I mentioned the TruControl knife. This right here is one of my favorite all-time craft knives, and we just like to use it. And you have to be in good lighting for this. You have to have some good eyes. What we're going to do is we're going to cut out the excess because we want to save that for maybe another project down the line. Am I right? So we're just going to take this right here. I know I cut less than the 7-inch mark, so I'm just going to go down right here, and then I'm going to twist it over, and I'm going to cut the bottom edge. Now right here is when you have two options. If you watch any of our live streams, anything like that, you know I peel this up and I save it for later, right? I put it in my scrap drawer, anything like that. You can do that, but I want to give you guys another option here. If you want to just leave your material right here and be able to not worry about any, ruining any stickiness, you can actually just leave the scrap piece and get it after. But if we want to follow what I would traditionally do, you can go ahead, peel this up at like a little angle. You're going to see we're going to easily peel this away. Notice that if I'm anytime peeling up vinyl from a mat, I go with gravity. This is very intentional for the process. So we're going to peel this up right here, and there we go. Now a big question is, when I use the TruControl knife on the mat, the biggest thing red flags get raised and say, Tanner, is this going to damage my mat? And my friends, you are going to feel how much pressure to use, and believe it or not, you will not believe at how it never has damaged any of our mats. Now obviously, if you are going to put all your mat into it, you may see that there's some really deep indentions and things like that, but we've never had issues using the TruControl knife right on the mat. Now let's get back to why we love weeding on the mat. This is absolutely your third hand when it comes to weeding, and now we can demonstrate exactly why. Because if I was going to start weeding this without using the mat, I would have to dedicate, for me, my left hand to try to keep the vinyl still. What the mat is doing is the mat's going to lay on your surface completely flat, and it's going to provide, some really great stability that you could not get if you were trying to hold it down with your hand. Even when I've weeded using just the vinyl, no mat, I could be holding it down really well, but the other corners where my fingers were able to hold are still coming up on you. So you really want to be careful and be very mindful about this. This is something we truly do believe in, and I think once you try it once, you'll be hooked too. So let's go ahead and grab our original weeding tool, and we are going to be able, with one hand, we're going to be able to just start weeding. Now notice as we start weeding, my extra hand is not having to touch any part of the mat really. I'm just holding it here to keep in place. And then you're able to let both hands really focus in on the true weeding. You're not having to worry about anything else. You're not having to worry about the vinyl slipping away or anything. You can really be focused in on the weeding part. So I like to pull from one side and then have this weeding tool here and kind of give me added support. So as I go through this project, this is a pretty complicated image that sometimes you may have issues weeding, but right here you see how fast you can go if you wanted when you're using the mat. So just like so, we have this entire piece right here. Now for another fun little tip, sometimes when you're going through your project, especially with words like this, you may want to save this before wadding it up. I like to take it and just stick it to the side of my table. And here's why. If you've been on a live stream with me, you know sometimes I could lose an I. I could lose, little pieces inside for letters, right? I will save that and be able to find it once I locate that I'm missing it. So if that makes sense, it's just really great to keep it handy. So now I like to put that weeding tool down and then grab the pen tool. And again, you can see here, the mat is going to allow me to really just focus in and weed that piece. It's not moving, it's not trying to roll up. Vinyl a lot of times is in rolls, so it naturally wants to go back into the roll position. But this right here just keeps everything flat and allows you to do an amazing job time and time again. So as you guys can see right here, we're able to effortlessly weed time and time again and have fantastic results every single time we're weeding iron-on or vinyl. Now, if you guys are sitting here and saying, I'm still opposed to it, one of the main reasons could be because you haven't given it a shot. So I wanna highly, highly, highly recommend, if you do not take anything from this video, that I really wanna instill in you just to give it one chance. Try something new today and see what you think. Come back here and leave me a comment down below and let me know truly what you think. Have you been weeding on the mat for years, or is today gonna be the first day you try it? I cannot wait to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Now, before we head out, I wanna let you guys know, if you're brand new here, to sign up for our 5-day Cricut challenge. We're gonna set you guys up for some success using your Cricut. So if you're overwhelmed and need help getting over that, definitely check out our free 5-day challenge down below. Or if you're like, Tanner, I already know I need a membership, that link will be down below too. You'll get instant access to thousands of cut files, hundreds of fonts, and believe it or not, you get the complete 30-day challenge, $97 value, mind you, included in that year membership. We cannot wait to see you over in the membership, so go ahead, grab it today, and then go post and introduce yourself in our member-only community. We cannot wait to see you there. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.